Everybody, welcome back to Kiki Loves Nigeria. Hey, on this episode of Kiki Loves Nigeria, we're going to talk about a robbery in the Gambia. Yep, there was a robbery this weekend, and I was contacted by, my friend Quasi Boyd, and he wanted to share this information with you guys to help you guys stay safe while you're traveling or repatriating to the Gambia. So let's start with the story. So Saturday, when I was getting ready for the show, I received a phone call from my friend Quasi Boyd. And Quasi told me he sounded really upset, y'all, for one. That was the first thing I noticed, is that Quasi is the type of dude who's always together. He never sounds upset or bothered. But when he called me, he sounded very concerned. Very concerned. And he said, Kiki, the guy who lives near me and was robbed. And I said, what do you mean he was robbed? He said, Kiki, he was robbed. And I'm thinking people, just came. I saw him on the street and they just robbed him. He said, no, these people came. He was set up. He was set up by two girls that he was dating. I guess he was, dating them. You know what I mean? Just going out with them. And the two girls called some guys to come over there. And the guys beat him up, tied him up and beat him up until they could get his security codes for his accounts. And once they got the security codes for his accounts, they left. And thank God he was okay. They didn't kill him. Well, they didn't unalive him, but they did beat him up really, really bad. So according to Quasi, this person is single. It's a man. And he's a repat. I suppose he's from the United States. He's in his 30s. And the sad thing about it is that Quasi said the man has some type of speech impediment. So he thinks there's something wrong with the man, like the man has a disability. So these girls set up and robbed a man who has a disability. Yes. And what does Black Acres always say? And what does Sisters International always say? What is that cheap line they always say? Oh, it's so safe and it doesn't happen in the Gambia. This very crime that I just described to you that happened to this disabled man in the Gambia is exactly what happens in the United States every day, all day. This is a game that young people do. Young girls, they set you up and they call their little friends to come over and rob you. Yes. And thank God they didn't unalive him. So hey, I'm going to play you these messages so you can hear it from Quasi himself. And then you drop your comments and you tell me what you think. And again, this is not to tell you not to go to the Gambia, because I'm still going. But I'm telling you to move wisely in the Gambia, to be wise. Don't be alone, male or female. Don't be alone. Just like Quasi said, if you're going to date those women, then you need to know her family. You need to go to her house and meet her family. If you don't go to her house and meet her family, then you know what he said? Then you don't know her and you don't know who you're dealing with. Because the first thing an African is going to do, if he really respects you, is he's going to take you home to meet his family. You got to be careful, male or female, who you dealing with, because there's bumpsters and there's bumettes, and they're all on the same page. They're all on the same page. All right, so let's listen to what Quasi has to say.
Going somewhere and being by yourself is definitely not cool. And then especially if you're dealing with people that are shady people, people that you guys hanging out, I don't know if he was, he getting these girls and they getting them for money and he's having sex with them and things like that. You know what I mean? Just like that guy you did that video over that, that fell off the balcony. Well, I don't know where he was, in Peru or somewhere. But you're going somewhere. You're by yourself. You understand what I'm saying? The same profile. People by themselves, and then being in the wrong type of crowds. You can share it. Definitely share it. And a lot of time it's who these guys are dealing with. This, we have a property where we rent the room and we go and work from there. So he's staying right next door, and he's a little bit slow, like the way he talk and stuff. But he's by himself, from America. Yeah, I think he's like from the middle states, Wisconsin or something like that. But it was this girl he was dealing with for a few months. She has a friend with her. Then the friend goes down, open up the door, and then the guys come up in there and tie him up. He's bruised. He said they almost broke his arm. You know what I mean? He got knot on top of his head and things like that. It's crazy.
All right. That's all I have for y'all. That's just alarming. That's all I can say. And again, that doesn't mean don't travel to Africa. That doesn't mean don't travel to the Gambia. That just means when you travel, be safe. Be safe and be wise. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.